be 8 o'clock in the morning, but we are librarians, darn it, and we have good imagination. So imagine, if you will, strobe lights, a disco ball, your favorite people, and some very good books. I am Jody Cruz, the Evergreen Committee Chair. That's right, we're celebrating, we're building community, and we want you and your teens to join the Evergreen Party. Wait, what? In case this is your first exposure to the Evergreen Teen Book Award, let me give you some background. The Evergreen Teen Book Award is a Reader's Choice Award created by the Washington Young Adult Review Group, or WashARG, in 1990. Its purpose conforms nicely to the School Division's Lit framework by creating a culture of reading through the provision of engaging and important book nominees that motivate teens to read. After getting to know at least two of the nominees, students are encouraged to practice civic participation by voting for their favorite. In 1991, The Teen Spoke, and Seventh Son by Orson Scott Card was the first Evergreen Teen Book Award winner. In 1999, the Evergreen Committee members, with WashARG's approval, expanded the list from only one list with nominees that tended to skew older to two lists, one with titles developmentally appropriate for high schoolers and one with titles developmentally appropriate for middle schoolers. Teens can read and vote for nominees on either list, but the shift allowed librarians who served specific age ranges a full complement of titles appropriate to their teens. In 2020, teens awarded The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas the award for the high school list, and teens selected Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds as the middle school list award recipient. You've heard me mention WashARG a couple of times. WashARG is the governing body of the Evergreen Committee and presents the Evergreen Teen Book Award. We now partner with WLA to promote the Evergreens. WashARG is made up of public and school librarians, and our goal is to have librarians from all over the state represented in our membership. We currently have librarians from as far south as Longview, Washington, as far north as Everett, and last year we were delighted to add librarians from Grandview after the WashARG workshop in Spokane. Our group meets 3 to 4 times annually when librarians can pick up newly published books and review and debate the merits of those titles for their collections. I encourage you to check out the WashARG workshop scheduled for Saturday and hosted by my colleagues J.J. Higgins, a KCLS graphic novel goddess, and Heidi Bush, the WLA Secondary Teacher Librarian of the Year. Our meetings are a highlight of my professional year. Is the music sounding more enticing and the crowd more inviting? Then my job as the Evergreen Hype Woman is off to a good start. Let's start by giving you the party address, www.evergreenbookaward.org. Since we have migrated to Google Sites, you will need to include the www as part of the URL to avoid a 404 error. Each year, there are two simultaneous processes: the awards process that you and your teens can participate in, and the committee processes which you, a librarian, are welcome to join. Our award timeline starts now, or as soon as you make the new nominees available to your teens. Cycle years for the award are determined by the year that students will be voting. So we are now on the 2026 cycle because students will be reading from now until next March. Our school requires students to earn service to school points in order to graduate. So one incentive I use is a feedback form for each nominee a student reads. If you would like a copy of that form, I will be continuing to add accessible links in this presentation even after the conference ends. The voting window opens on March 1st and closes on March 31st, and there are two ways teens can vote. They can access the voting form on our website, or if you have a district that is more restrictive of what students can access, you, their librarian, can complete a librarian tally. Laura Ofston, one of our middle school librarians in Longview, has students put sticky notes on the posters to collect the tally for her schools, and it is an effective and efficient way to enable her students to participate. Winners of the award are announced in early April. While all this is going on, the Evergreen Committee is working behind the scenes. Nominations of titles for the new cycle of award nominees starts in April. Our committee focuses on vetting the nominees and confirming which titles conform to our Evergreen criteria, which is books that are or can be popular with teens, books that deserve to be promoted or celebrated, are diverse in genre and audience appeal, are first in a series, or are a companion books. As we confirm titles, we create annotations for our new Evergreen reading list. Our annotations include the title, publication information, a brief summary, the criteria it meets, and both positive and cautionary alerts. As our Latina population continues to grow, we have made a conscious effort to include the ISBN of Spanish translations for librarians who want to grow their Spanish language collections. Our May meeting is one of celebration as well as reflection and refining. It is this meeting where we wrestle with processes and changes we want to make to enhance the award for our stakeholders. After our September meeting, nominations close, but we continue vetting and confirming titles and compile those titles into annotated lists. This new practice is inspired by the YALSA blogging teams and the Texas Library Association lists and fit with the reading advocacy principle found in the LIT framework, which indicates that a teacher or librarian in an effective library program develops a relevant collection of fiction and nonfiction in a variety of formats, ensuring quality reading choices for all students. You will be able to find those lists posted on the annotated list section of our website, and links to the lists will be mailed using the WLA School Library and Chaos listservs. We are working on the 2026 reading lists because the top 10 will be announced in 2026. This presents another way for your teens to engage with the Evergreen program. The Evergreen Committee welcomes teen feedback about titles that make our lists. Student input is considered as our committee makes decisions about which titles to cut. In December, the annotated list will be updated to identify the committee's top 30 choices for each category. The final nominees for the 2027 Teen Reader's Choice Award will be selected from these 30, which will be whittled down to our top 10 nominees, which will be announced in March. March is a busy month behind the scenes as our committee prepares book talks, posters, and other resources for you to use in promoting the new nominees to your teens. Which leads us to our newest award, the Evergreen Graphic Novel Award. Its structure is the same as the Evergreen Teen Book Award, but it fills a gap in award coverage. Graphic novels and manga are important building blocks for literacy for our students who are learning the English language or who have language processing disabilities that make it difficult for them to create mental picture of the words they read in books. Borrowing from the work already done by the Texas Library Association for its Texas Maverick graphic novel list and the YALSA Great Graphic Novels list, we added the following criteria to our graphic novel evaluation. Borrowing from the work already done by the Texas Library Association for its Texas Maverick graphic novel list and the YALSA Great Graphic Novels list, we added the following criteria to our graphic novel evaluation. Adapted materials must remain true to, expand, or complement the original work. Must be widely available in the U.S. at the time of consideration. Exhibits a clarity of visual flow on the page. Conveys necessary meaning through the effective use of images. Demonstrates outstanding quality of the artwork's reproduction. Series can be nominated as a group as long as Volume 1 and any additional volumes are published within the Evergreen cycle of 3 years. Despite our initial fear that we might only be able to field 5 nominees each for the high school and middle school divisions, we were pretty excited to discover that we were easily able to field our traditional 10 nominees for each developmental list. Now that we have 40 nominees in total to introduce, I'm going to use a strategy that you are welcome to borrow. Challenge students to come up with a headline that encapsulates the story but still invites the reader to read the whole story. With that, here are the headlines for our nominees, starting with the Evergreen Graphic Novel Award high school nominees. I, Mija by Christine Suggs. Headline: Teen sent to Mexico discovers self. Internal monologue not always helpful. Bomb by Steve Schenken with art by Nick Bertozzi. Plot to sell classified information about atomic bomb uncovered. Hidden Systems by Dan Knott. Secrets behind water, electricity, and internet systems revealed. Hockey Girl Loves Drama Boy by Faith Erin Hicks. Unlikely influence behind successful hockey player. Hungry Ghost by Victoria Ying. Grieving teen ditches unhealthy habit, learns new way to cope. Kaya by Wes Craig. Anticipated savior rescued by sibling. Messenger by Mark Bernardin and Ron Salas. Victim of bike theft becomes world-class fighter. Monstrous by Sarah Meyer. Transracial adoptee uses art to tame internal monster. Pass the Monster Meet My Lady by Kanata Hoshi with art by Chika Muzubi, mangaka Pepperone. Monster Meat researcher edges out rivals for heir's attention. Sunshine by Jarrett Krasoka. Camp for children with terminal illness facilitates lifelong friendship. And now, the middle school nominees. Starting with Buzzing by Samuel Satin with art by Rye Hickman. Intrusive Thoughts Sent Packing by RPG Group. Four Eyes by Rex Ogle and Dave Valeza. Ugly Glasses First Blow in Middle School Transition. Hoops by Matt Tavares. Lady Bears transcend taped uniforms, pave way for Title IX. Mabue by Zachary Sterling. Teen Save Family Food Truck. Mom's Heritage as Protector, a critical link. Mexikid by Pedro Martin. Eventful Mexican road trip to retrieve abuelo, a success. The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich by Dea Muniz. Lady Camembert defies tradition. Cheesy analysis of society ensues. Project Not by Chelsea Ferretti. Chronotech program deadly. Whistleblower testimony brings down tech mega company. Sora and the House of Monsters by Hidori Yamaji, translated by Ben Trethaway, and adapted by Krista Grandi. Monster War Over. Trainee learns new skills with former rivals. Two Tribes by Emily Bowen Cohen. Teen enacts risky plan to learn father's heritage. And finally, Wildfire by Brina Bard. Wildfire evacuee researches fire origin, man-made or climate change. Lest you think we are only partying with the new kids, let me reassure you that we are still dancing with the ones who brought us. Those are our classics, the Evergreen Teen Book Award nominees. They're the ones I want to introduce right now, starting with our high school nominees. Accountable by Dashka Slater. Private social media account ignites firestorm in Albany, California. Chaos Theory by Nick Stone. Anonymous drunk text challenges assumptions about fate. Gather by Kenneth M. Cadell. Community gathers to support teen survivor. The Luis Ortega Survival Club by Sonora Reyes. Selectively mute victim of sexual assault joins group to demand justice. My Father the Panda Killer by Jamie Jo Huang. Teen seeking to escape generational trauma, conflicted about leaving brother behind. Promise Boys by Nick Brooks. Principal of charter school slain. Suspects seek clues to clear their names. Resball by Byron Graves. Reservation team chases state title. Deceased captain's younger brother leads the way. Running Past Dark by Han Nolan. Hellgate runner looks for answers, refuses to believe twin sister is a killer. Starter Villain by John Scalzi. Struggling substitute teacher inherits billions, must take over supervillain's lair and adopt sentient cats. That's Not My Name by Megan Lawley. Father of amnesiac teen not related. Search for other missing girls continues. And now for the middle school nominees, starting with The Fire, the Water, and Maudie McGinn by Sally J. Pla. Teen discovers hidden skills. Neurodivergence no hindrance when surfing. Hands by Tori Maldonado. Teen makes tough choice. Protect his mother or follow his dream. How to Stay Invisible by Maggie C. Rudd. Abandoned teen survives, lives on school meal scraps and fish he caught behind local middle school. The Labors of Hercules Beale by Gary D. Schmidt. Grieving teen challenged, discovers the heroic in mundane daily tasks. The Lake House by Sarah Beth Durst. Stranded camper's nightmare. Summer camp on remote island destroyed and camp counselor found murdered. Mascot by Charles Waters and Tracy Sorrell. Racist mascot debate. 8th grade honor students must take opposite sides. The Mona Lisa vanishes. Mona Lisa's secret smile. How the Louvre attempts to keep her safe. Once There Was by Kiosh Monsef. Father's secret revealed. Hidden veterinary talents passed to unsuspecting daughter. What Happened to Rachel Riley by Claire Swinarski. Podcast reveals shocking new discoveries. The fall of Rachel Riley uncovered. And finally, World Made of Glass by Amy Polonsky. Teen advocate protests ignorance. Public AIDS fears hinder response. So, as the party begins to lull and before the DJ pushes pause, let's do a quick recap. The Evergreen Committee has come up with some fresh takes on some of our previous successes and has put some new practices in place. Your teens continue to have space at the party that has been and continues to be designed specifically for them through the Reader's Choice Awards, the 2026 Evergreen Teen Book Award, and the 2026 Evergreen Graphic Novel Award, as well as the opportunity to provide feedback on titles that are on the Evergreen annotated reading lists. We are now inviting you to the party by sharing our annotated reading lists, an updated website with resources for current nominees, a willingness to answer questions and share ideas if you want to find ways to bring the evergreens to your libraries, and as much chocolate as your heart desires. Okay, We can't supply it unless you actually come to a WashArg meeting. We thank you for your ongoing support of the Evergreen Teen Book Award and encourage you to party on. If you have questions, check out our website, www.evergreenbookaward.org, or email me at jcruz@longview.k12.wa.us. Again, thank you for coming to our workshop.